The Homeland Security Subcommittee on Counterterrorism, Law Enforcement, and Intelligence will come to order. Without objection, the subcommittee may recess at any point. The purpose of this hearing is to conduct oversight of the Department of Homeland Security's Office of Intelligence and Analysis, that will be referred to as INA, and hear from Undersecretary for INA, Mr. Kenneth Weinstein. I now recognize myself for an opening statement. We're holding this important hearing to examine and discuss the role of DHS's Office of INA that helps play a role in safeguarding our nation. The United States faces a myriad of threats from state and non-state actors. We're seeing authoritarian regimes such as China, Russia, and Iran expand their reach across the globe and challenge the sovereignty of the United States and our allies. Our adversaries are not only working to achieve these objectives through conventional military means, but are also masterfully accomplishing these goals through cyberspace and by using asymmetric tactics that fall just below the threshold of traditional conflict, more commonly known as gray zone aggression. We've seen malign actors utilize state-owned companies and their technological products to spy on our nation and gather sensitive data that advances their strategic goals. Further, the threats posed by violent extremist groups like ISIS, Al-Shabaab, Al-Qaeda, and others that continue to operate throughout sub-Saharan Africa, the Middle East, and Southeast Asia present consistent challenges. Overall, the threats posed by state and non-state actors paired with the department's failure to secure our borders have led our nation down a precarious path that presents a clear and present danger. Our nation has almost certainly not seen this level of instability since World War II, and these threats will only continue to metastasize if we don't do something about it and stop the aggression from our adversaries. I highlight the troubling developments because they show why now more than ever our nation needs an effective and efficient intelligence enterprise to keep the homeland safe, secure, and resilient while not abusing its authorities or violating the constitutional rights of Americans. The men and women that work within INA are charged with disseminating intelligence to state, local, tribal, and territorial enforcement agencies and other partners and develop intelligence from those partners for DHS and the IC to ensure our communities stay safe. Over the years and across administrations, INA has struggled at times to complete its mission to equip the Homeland Security enterprise with timely intelligence and information needed to keep the homeland safe. Systematic and documented failures, as detailed by various reports by the DHS Inspector Generals, have led to breakdowns in identifying specific threat streams or have undermined public trust. For instance, INA's overt human intelligence collection program has raised serious questions and concerns related to the department's overreach of its statutory mandate and to potential violations of the fundamental civil liberties of all Americans. In fact, part of the program was paused after a number of DHS officials raised concern about its legality. These issues have led to high turnover, no clear leadership or effective oversight, and significant training gaps for its employees. These incidents within DHS are unacceptable and erode trust in keeping our nation safe at a time when our country faces an elevated threat. It did not help when DHS unilaterally decided to establish a now disbanded Homeland Intelligence Expert Group, an action that continues to raise concerns about DHS's impartiality and objectivity in furthering its Homeland Security mission amidst ever-evolving threats. These concerns were further exacerbated when DHS then decided to rebrand the discredited experts group as an advisory board, claiming that the new board builds upon the experts group and will represent diverse perspectives without regard for political affiliation. In an effort to address some of these shortcomings within INA, members of this committee have not only conducted oversight of INA's operations, but also passed various bipartisan legislative measures designed to improve training and transparency of INA's activities. Today, I've asked Undersecretary Weinstein to provide us with an update on the steps that the department has taken to address the long-standing issues associated with INA that cannot be fixed with surface-level patches. I'm encouraged to hear that INA has been undergoing an internal review, and we thank Mr. Weinstein for doing that, and a reorganization as well. But it simply can't be a reshuffling of leadership roles or just to give the appearance of progress. We have talked several times throughout the last year about some of these issues. I've worked with the ranking member, Mr. Magaziner. This subcommittee has worked on truly identifying and having a conversation that highlights some of the past, what I would call failures, but also looks forward to what can be done to keep our nation safe. As we approach the anniversary of 9/11, the 23rd anniversary of 9/11, I think it's important for all of us to keep in mind that in the days leading up to 9/11, the phrase, "the system was blinking red," was brought up. That was part of the 9/11 Commission. It was part of the findings, and it's part of what I want to frame this subcommittee hearing today, is that I am fearful and concerned today that the system is blinking red in a number of ways. And I think that even if our intention is to keep this country safe, we have to look under the hood and get to an organization, and I appreciate you being here doing that, so that if it is blinking red, which I think it is, that we can get the oversight done, provide DHS with the appropriate resources to keep the country safe so that we don't have another incident like 9/11 again. And I appreciate you being here. I look forward to hearing your testimony. And I now recognize the gentleman from Rhode Island, the ranking member, Mr.